Great. So, welcome to Sylvia Shares here today as we are going to be talking about infidelity in love and relationships. I hope that you are all going to be able to listen through with us and be able to understand our perspective, our share, our experiences, and how best it can serve you and how best you can be able to apply it in your daily lives and everything. And so, my guest insists that I should pray for at the beginning. I have a very worldwide crowd, so all religions. Presented and everything. So I will just let my viewers know that I pray to being a Christian, I pray to God. And so I will just respect your wishes and be able to pray. And that I hope that viewers of different religions do understand that we all pray to higher God. And so my higher God now is the one I'm going to pray to. So, Lord, we come before your presence this evening. We want to say thank you so much for an amazing week and being with us, enabling us to be productive and presenting ourselves to the world. We pray and hope that we are being the best of beacons, that we are bringing hope and inspiration to the world, that Jesus, let us not do this out of selfish acts, out of selfish conditions and waiting for other things and everything, but that we should give it with our clean hearts, and that the hearts that are receiving this, God, that they need it and that it's going to be of purpose and growth to them in return. Enable us not to have any technical problems. Be with us all throughout, and we ask for your presence around, that our answers shall be of great value. I pray all this believing and trusting in Jesus' name. Amen. So we can begin. You're welcome. It's a pleasure. So I just would like to begin on attacking this subject of infidelity. But first, before we get in, tell us who you are, Alan, and the amazing job that you are doing in Kenya, and starring all over the TV sessions and everything. So tell us about yourself for the viewers to know who you are.
Well, thank you so much for putting me on the spot, but it is well. Okay, my name is Alan Lawrence. I'm an inspirational speaker, relationship coach, author, and above all, I'm a minister of the gospel. That's where yeah. So I actually run a mentorship program in this country called the African Experience, and by the grace of God, I do write on a number of newspapers and a number of TV interviews here and there, just to ensure that we propagate the message of hope and positivity in everything we are living in. Because remember, I always say this, 100 years ago, we were not here. 100 years to come, we might not be here.
Yeah.
But what remains is the kind of legacy you leave behind, because you won't be remembered for the designer perfume you had. You won't be remembered for the watches you had. But you'll only be remembered for one thing, the kind of legacy you leave behind. And you as a legend, ensure that you leave a legacy that will speak volumes about yourself. Because generations will always be built by a kind of generosity you put your potential up. Thank you so much for having me.
It's an honor and it's a pleasure, and I thank you so much for your time. And I really hope that our viewers are really looking forward to this. And I didn't put it in the story because I just wanted to see those people who view us and really come on specifically for this discussion. Because when it is spontaneous, when sometimes it is a surprise, it is because somehow you were meant to listen to the message. I tend to believe that when it's not like feeling imposed on you, that it can also, when you come and you're like, probably I needed to hear this today. These words were necessary for me today. And this is why I tried the entire week of not posting any stories, to just, also show I'm going to be present, yes, but in partly like to enable people who view us and who really love the content to be present so that it can really serve the purpose in a way. So, infidelity. Many people felt, some people write to me privately, and being a matter that touches the entire world, I wondered what are your thoughts on infidelity first, and we just go broader onto the subject.
Well, before that we dive deep into it, for me, how I interpret infidelity is, that emotional betrayal, on the higher side, whereby you feel like this person has has not hold onto the part of their body, whereby that's why a relationship is a commitment. So when you are signing up for this thing, this person is not hold up to the side of body. So you feel kind of betrayed. You feel kind of like this person has not upholded their integrity. So this is whereby you feel the other person has neglected the integrity that is affecting you directly.
But you clearly know very well that infidelity comes due to reasons. It comes due to things that have happened probably in a relationship. And so this is like mainly how we are going to sort of run the whole thing, because in such a way that people are going to maybe have a perspective on how best to handle the situation. Yes, it is heartbreaking. It is. It can. It can actually affect another person in a very bad way. The other, because sometimes it comes unexpectedly. Like you're thinking everything is fine, but all of a sudden the infidelity has happened, and you have to face now the next step, the consequences. Are you going to decide to separate, or are you going to decide to keep going with the relationship and give it a chance and forgive? But unfortunately, the forgiveness never really happens. But now in the part where there are reasons leading to the infidelity in the first place. Let's say maybe the sex life is just not spiced up. So how do people go about this?
Well, fantastic. I believe no one just begins to practice infidelity within a span of a moment.
Exactly.
They begin it way back, and maybe you as a partner, you've been ignoring the sign. And, just to tackle that, look at it this way. Let's say, I like the angle you brought it, like, let's say the sexual life, whereby the other partner has not spiced up, and doesn't mean that I have to go my way out and getting engaged or involved in an act with another person. It means that I need to open a window of discussion, whereby when this person is my friend, I'll be able to tell them that look at it from this point without making them feel inferior, without hurting their esteem, just to be frank with them and be like, I don't like this way, why can't you just you suggest a few things to them, and let us embrace and leave along some things that you see this one that they're going to do in our relationship. Because remember, a relationship, the moment you committed yourself into this relationship, is no longer you. It is about us. So how can us cooperate, and how can us relate so much without us having proper communication? And this proper communication can only come on the basis of marrying and dating your best friend, whereby you can just go vulnerable, and your vulnerability cannot use that. Like you feel like, what, these and these is not adding up, these and these, why can't we try that? Now we just suggest that way so that you can be able to avoid something. And the other person, when this person is telling you, you just need to be open-minded. Whenever they suggest something, be open-minded and ready to support them, and ready to incorporate whatever they're saying for you for the betterment of the relationship.
Right.
So you can only avoid it by proper communication, by listening to the other person's side.
Okay, so now in the scenarios where even if talking about like the sexual acts, on how to make things better, has been put on the table and everything. But you see, most scenarios, when you hear most gentlemen, they will complain like, hey, it was really good when my wife would present herself in a very jolly manner, like she's looking beautiful, or he was presenting himself dressed up in suits, looking very good, making sure there's perfume, like just to smell good, just to be clean. And then after marriage, like the veil is out and many are letting go. Like, so most partners are like, how do you just keep up the momentum to tell yourself like, hey, I need to look good, I need to make sure that everything is looking great on my side or something of a sort. And it has happened a lot, like in the Kenyan community, for example, where I've had some gentlemen friends who will talk about it and actually ask like, how do you just call on to these women to try and maintain that beauty, maintain that standard of class, that that's one thing that we got attracted to at first, for example. But even the gentleman, I mean, letting the tummy go up, and I don't know, just somehow letting go. And yet you, when you got attracted to each other, there was that spark because of the first, the first impression. They always say you can never have a second impression. The first impression counts so much. But then now, why can't we keep up with that first impression to maintain the vibration, that attraction, positive attraction?
Wow. You know, like in the first place, I've always said that once a man is eyeing this lady,
yes,
a lady can become the commander in chief at that very particular moment. A lady can command this guy. But the moment now the lady is in this relationship, she has fully committed herself. Now the roles change. How? You realize that the man now kind of becomes now the overall commander in chief. He can command everything around. So that to keep up the zeal, to keep up the fire, you just have to be intentional. I know it's never easy, but I always have a problem with a woman. Like, let's say you realize a woman, like she's doing so much out there, she's putting on well out there, but the moment she comes in the house, she's not looking on. My question is, who is that lucky prince out there that you're trying to be? You need to always be intentional that you ensure that your man in the house is always happy. And you as a man, you must ensure that that you are committed to ensure that you are lady, you are feeling happy. Because in every lady, there is always a queen and there is a girl who wants like her territory managed. So it depends on how the culture you create. The moment you treat her as a queen, believe me, she will continue being that queen.
You touched a really good point. When you treat her like a queen, she remains the queen in that position. And it all actually comes a lot when there's a lot of neglect. There's a lot of less attention. Like if a man is not just giving even just that attention from the beginning, like when you looked at her as if she was like a flower or like she was this most spectacular person or something of the sort, then she also gets the urge to want to just keep giving the same thing. But it also comes on the men's side. Let's just not talk about the woman, because it's not always the fault of the woman.
I was also getting that.
Right.
Like, for instance, like in this country, like you realize that men will want school girls. That's the culture. So there is one minister who said in this country that if you always desire a school girl, buy your wife a school uniform so that she can also look good in that school uniform. You understand what I'm saying?
That's what I was talking about, spicing up the sex life, actually.
Yeah. So you must ensure that you found her this way and ensure that she becomes even better in this relationship, that she feels comfortable in this relationship. Because if you treat her right, she has done all these kind of things just to please you. always try so much to appreciate her, give her attention. Remember, a woman does not need just your time, she needs your attention. Be quick enough to notice a few changes in her. Like, let's say today she has done her nail. Just appreciate her, she will keep on doing it and doing it over and over. Appreciate her for the good things she's doing. And if you are in a position, even take her out and desire that the things you want her to have and to continue having them, you create that culture. Believe me, you should continue. Then on the men's side, we just have to be intentional. If this lady was attracted by your six pack and all those kind of things, you have just to keep up doing all those kind of things in the gym. You just have, because whatever it depends on the foundation that you laid from the very onset. Yeah. Because the foundation you lay is what you have to use to start.
Your network is low today. We didn't get you right. You got lost just for a moment.
Okay, sorry. I was saying in the honeymoon stage in a relationship, that's why some people will always make fun of this, that during the few months, this person looks all flamboyant and all those kind of things. Why? It's the first phase of the campaign period. You've been in this country, you understand. During the campaign, people tend to dash out. But the moment you charm this person, people neglect. But you have to keep your fire, your relationship fire continuing, because many people will sign up for that relationship release only to find blisters in this relationship. So you have just to be intentional that when this lady likes my muscles, I just must ensure that I go to the gym, do all those things, ensure that I go to all those kind of things.
But then now, why is there so much neglect in the long run, whereby people get so busy? You find that most of the men, for example, they're going to say like, hey, I'm working so hard, I'm tired, I'm exhausted. They come home and boom, they want to sit on the TV all day, or all evening or all weekend, and not want to, I don't know, just get out there, do something, move. Or we understand there can be fatigue and everything, but there's no that passion where you almost like want to be playful together or something of a sort. How come then it's not being practiced, despite the fact that yes, there are children probably around, and so there's a lot of privacy issue and everything, but there are times when children have gone to school and you wonder, like, do parents like take this moment to try and mingle, or even if it's not that, but to just try and avoid the infidelity that is increasing? For me, I would say, like, sometimes as a partner, you're almost waiting for people to do something for you. But I like to dare most of my fellow ladies, like, why don't you surprise him at work and like bring over some lunch, or just pop up and like, hey darling, would you like us to go out for lunch, or I don't know, do something different that there's someone who says
you see.
Okay, somebody was continuing the fascination on the school uniform.
You see, like just to cut you short, the way you are saying, let's say the children are in the picture. So children should never be something that will separate you.
Of course.
They need to be even a unifying factor. So you just have to be intentional. I'll use this word over and over.
Your network is really bad today. We're not hearing you so well. But you just spoke about being intentional and making sure that people keep up. So I don't know whether it's... I'm sorry for the connection, which is a little bit poor today. Thank you for all who are joining us and those who are watching as we talk about infidelity in love and relationships. Don't hesitate to ask questions and let me know like where you're watching us from, and if you connect with the subject, or like how do you maintain momentum in your relationship to make sure that things are running smoothly and that you are able to maintain the relationship going well. And we wait for our guest, I'm just going to invite him again. Hello, Benham. Welcome. So we're talking about infidelity in relationships. Why do people go out? Like, why do people end up cheating? Is it because there's a lot of neglect? Are you neglecting your partner? Are you paying attention to the small details that were at the beginning given? Like, if it's flowers, to continue once in a while saying, hey, I thought about you, or your singles alarm. I'm trusting that if you just believe and you're ready and your heart is ready, you will be able to connect with the right person. And, when you're passionate about life and when you're doing activities that are passionate to you, this is how you get to find the person that will be even more appropriate for you. Because when you can find somebody that you connect with, that can do the same activities as you will be amazed at how fun the relationship is going to be, because that's where or how you found somebody. There's somebody who was saying they're single, so I was just trying to tell them to live into their passion and doing what they love. It's how they're able to connect with a person of almost the same style in a way, because that's where they met. Thank you very much, Mike. I appreciate the compliment.
Yeah. The single guy, the way I've always said that you being single, you just have, it's better for you to be alone but not lonely.
Yes.
So do not use that relationship as a recognition from yourself. Just love the person in the mirror more, but let yourself more and do all those kind of things. Just do. Marriage is not intended to make you happy. Marriage and the relationship is intended to make you sad.
Oh my goodness. It's okay, Alan. Yeah. He's so young. He's 20 years old. My goodness, you're so young. This is just the beginning of life. Enjoy.
No pressure. The way you're just saying, I like the aspect you brought in. He just needs, or she needs to operate in their purpose more and do everything that makes him or her better and continue.
Yeah, Zalam, do check out my link from the bio. This is time for you to, I keep asking myself, like, if I'm asked what would I tell my younger self, like when I was 20, I regret nothing, because I have lived life like fully to like the best, because I love my life. But one thing that I would probably give advice to is, at that point in time, be cautious and invest like crazy in such a way that that's the only small regret I would say I have, where you overspend because you're thinking like, oh, I'm young, I'm just starting out life, let me just use all the money, no problem. But at my younger self, I would literally tell you, honestly, just work so hard, get so much along with you. It enables you, by the time you're meeting the right person to be with in partnership, that you're living in some sort of abundance, and that you can be able to carry that relationship with loads of fun, because you're able to do so many things together. And that by the time you think about marriage, by the time you think about having a relationship, you don't have the stress of thinking like, oh my goodness, now I need to start making money. Oh, now I need to start thinking about children or something of the sort. So the 20s, it's, yes, have so much fun, but I always say, have 2 weekends of so much fun, but have 2 weekends of crazy working, so that by the time you're getting to the 30, when you're getting into that relationship, Zala, I'm sure you will not think, I hope you don't think about marriage before you're 30. Leave, travel, like breathe, do all you need to do, and enjoy life so fully that marriage will only be really at the end. That I met this young girl, she's 20 years old, and they're already talking to her about marriage. And I said, no, leave. Marriage is sweet. Marriage is excellent. It's perfect, yes. But the truth of the matter is, one needs to live. And those who are in marriage, they literally need to keep reminding the young ones from 20 to 30, think of having just fun. I don't know, just discover the world, travel, and do so many things in such a way that you don't think about marriage at that point in time. So that when destiny finds you at the right point, that you are mature, you are ready, you know what you want. You don't start asking questions like a young baby or something of the sort. And I think that's just what is more amazing. And this also what I told like my partner. We were friends like for 3 years, and why we are talking as we talk about infidelity today. I told him, I want you to enjoy, have fun, do all the stupidity that you need to do. The day you'll be ready, that you will only have to have me for all that time. So he doesn't have time to start looking at the others, because I gave him 3 years to literally do all the things he wanted. Because the day I saw him, I was like, God, there's my husband. But I mean, without having to rush into things, I said, have all the fun. I even gave him a girl. Funny thing. Oh yes, crazy me, huh?
Yeah, wow, wow.
So
how I wish the Kenyan men would get this crop of ladies, like, just to add on what you are saying to him, to her, like, it's better for you not to rush, because the moment you rush into some things, you crash.
Yeah.
You just have to plan your life, put your life together, because what you don't solve as a single person can never be solved in a relationship. You'll be bringing the baggage of yourself into the relationship, and this can never solve all those things. So you just have to enjoy life in a good way, that you won't harm yourself, you won't harm your destiny, and more importantly, your parent, your purpose.
Yeah.
The right person will always find you while you are in your purpose.
Yeah, Zala, I'm sorry I called your baby. I didn't say your baby per se, but you understand. I meant you're very young, and you still have so much life ahead of you. Just try and have fun. As you are in your 20s, just enjoy. Remember these words, like until you're 29, 30, please don't think about marriage. Like, I don't know, try and find ways to keep yourself so busy that you don't even think about the sex all the time or the girls all the time. There's so many ways to enjoy, have fun, and just live life, that you don't have to concentrate so much on anything else. Because the more you enjoy this 20s gap and 20 years, it is what actually enables you. Once you're in marriage, you have seen it all, you have done it all, that you're not jumpy anymore. You don't even need to look at other women, because you have found the person that has become your friend, that you're ready to grow with and really do amazing things together. Okay, friends, bye, good night. Okay, have a good night and live your life. Okay, don't be in a rush. I hope you find somebody nice to enjoy your 20s with. And if the person stays your friend till you get married, then wow, perfect, well and good for you. I don't know, what are your thoughts on this, on that, Alan?
Well, whatever you've told him is very brilliant. I subscribe to Benjamin Zulu's advice. I subscribe to Benjamin Zulu. Benjamin Zulu is a counseling psychologist here in this country, and he always says that if you are below 25, do not even consider a relationship. Why? Because you can imagine someone below 25, they're trying to experiment a lot of things. Yes, they might be doing something with their life, but they're basically, whatever they're doing, they're just experimenting. They have not come to full maturity. They have not stamped what they are doing. They have not stood to their ground. So use your pre-25 to build yourself, to build everything around you, put your house in order, so that when this person comes into your life, you have a launch where they don't look at So
Uh, I,
just it's better for you to wait rather than to wait.
I was just going to ask our viewers who are still with us and are still watching as we talk about infidelity. The reason why we are talking about the age for getting married, it's because it's part of the reasons that also leads into the infidelity and people going out because they may be rushed into the relationship or rushed into the marriage, and so they have that need to go look elsewhere because they tell themselves, I didn't leave this, I didn't leave that. So my question to the viewers, what age do you think would be the best to get married? Let us know your thoughts and ideas on like what happens mostly in your country, because it actually varies a lot, because you'll find most of them other cultures where the girls are forced into marriage at a very young age, which is an unfortunate thing, but it's part of their culture, and they are able to grow and sustain their relationship and the marriage all their lives. And so I I wouldn't say age is really relevant per se, but it's important to really take time to just attain that maturity before you go in. So, Alan, if we are to change the subject of the marriage, probably because people rushed in and that's why there's infidelity and everything. But what if, like, at the point when, like, most marriage couples are expecting a baby, for example, you have a lot of infidelity that happens in within this period. What would you say has been your experience in maybe talking to other men or talking to other people in the coaching sector as to really what do they fear? What goes on in their head?
Wow, that's why for me, boys will always marry for sex.
Boys will?
Boys will always marry for sex.
For sex, yeah.
A real man will always marry with something higher, because if you can never control your seed, a relationship is not your thing. I wrote that something that's somewhere.
Yes.
That if you cannot control your libido, the relationship is not your cup of tea.
Yes, I saw that.
Because remember, you just have to exercise your discipline, because it reaches to a point. Let's say you've reached to that point whereby you are no longer interested in sex. Sure. What will cement you to that? So the person who can move because my wife is pregnant, I can go out like to fulfill my sexual need. In the first place, I didn't love my woman. In the first place, I didn't have something higher that was binding us together. You understand? So, because if I believe and I understand that once your lady is pregnant, once your woman is pregnant, we are together in this.
Yes.
We are together in this. This is something all of us will adjust that we are together in this. I just have to control my section. Because if I truly mean the best for her, because naturally, all of us, we are jealous. I don't subscribe to that thing where they say, oh, women are jealous. All of us, we are jealous. Today, you ask a man that, you know what, because I caught you red-handed with another woman, supposing I go out with another man, you just wait for the response. Whatever he will respond to you,
you will know.
Yeah,
there's one of my viewers on the YouTube channel just answered, Babs answered 30, 40, or 50 are the best ages according to her to get married. And I almost like agree, just to before I come back to your point, Alan, I almost agree with her, like they are the best ages. 30, you are mature, you have so much energy, and you can think about literally being able to offer so much to this other partner, and you're able to enjoy yourself much more. At 40, I always say it's almost like an establishment age. People have gotten comfortable financially, people have gotten like investment ideas in place, and so their mind is almost settling down, almost. And at 50, like, it's the epical age where, like, you literally are telling yourself, like, okay, I have lived, the kids are away, out of the house, what now? And if you have a partner that at this point, like at 50, where you are still connecting so deeply, so well, I feel it's like an epical period where I don't know, everything is lived fully. You are able to have fun in the sex life, in the bed area. You're able to have so much fun in the travels because financially everybody is solid and everything. And so I think these three gaps, Babs, you hit the nail in the right spot, I believe. So back to your point, Alan, on the man probably not being able to control their libido and not maybe knowing why they got into the marriage, and so during the pregnancy that they decide they want to go out and everything because they're not respecting also their woman. But one thing, not in defense of to the men in any way, but there's one factor that we all do not probably talk about and that should be talked about, is the fact that most people end up being afraid. It could be even the woman or it could be the man. And when there's fear, because you will find some young ones who will be like, oh, are we going to hurt the baby? But there's nothing that happens to the baby. And this is what probably those who have been through it need to tell the young ones who are getting afraid and wondering at this point, like, oh, she's pregnant, can we still be able to do it? Of course. And I mean, go as per the feelings of the other. And that's why communication, like, is like so important. But for me, one advice I would honestly give is not to fear, but to talk to each other, because it depends whether the other person has libido or not. It depends whether the other person feels like it or not. There's the fatigue, and then it depends also on the sex of the baby. With with this one pregnancy you're gonna carry and you're like a nympho, you can't even control yourself, you're almost killing your man or something of the sort. And there's the other pregnancy that you can have and you just do not have libido at all. But so how do you meet each other in the middle to try and make sure that you're catering for each other in a way, per se, so that there's that passion still growing and everything. But it takes a man to really understand that, I believe, as you said. So it's very individual as a perspective, I would say. I don't know what you think. What you would say more about what I just talked about?
Yeah, like in the way you're saying, it's a culture. It's a culture that you create in your relationship and marriage. Because the moment you met this person, feel like, let's say, that in the context whereby it's a woman, you've ensured that this person enjoys the marital bliss and the marital bed more than any other place, that he can sit back and imagine, what am I really missing? He won't go out searching, because in the first place, he's safe. He is very safe with you. In the first place, if he might just think of another person, be like, what will I be missing on the other side? So it just depends on the kind of culture that you created. And you as a man, you as a woman, you just need to do a lot of research out here. This issue of just one style, my friend, experiment.
And I would say getting books is like, as you just said, experimenting, getting books on the subject is super important. Get ideas. You have like so many things, but this is in French, but like the book of the ideal husband, so it gives him ideas on how to literally practice things that he hasn't thought about and everything. You have the 669 dares that as partners you like need to keep trying or something of the sort. But there's one thing that I definitely advise, like most couples, like especially when you find that one is more open-minded than the other, there's a way you can actually present the ideas in a softer way, in a easy way that makes your partner like almost comfortable. But one thing that should maybe we can advise maybe our followers also is daring to try accept even going for therapy, or I don't know, just seeing a sex therapist, for example. It can literally build up the relationship and maintain the momentum of actually just the whole package. Because if maybe the sex life is like, poof, it's down, it's not good, but maybe sometimes it's just up in the mental where everything was good and all of a sudden things are not happening down there anymore. And sometimes it will take only a psychologist, a psychiatrist to unlock what is the problem up there. So if as a partner you refuse and do not accept to go see somebody, how do you expect it to be unlocked, to be it's just sometimes it's just a knob that needs to be opened, So I don't know your thoughts, because you should also give us actually the perspective of Kenya, where men are a little bit of, let me choose the right word. I was going to word, but I was going to say arrogant, but no. Um, what's the word I would say really? They just do not like and appreciate having to go for help, for example. They are dominating, unfortunately. They are dominant.
You see, you see the way I was just boiling the way you were saying the aspect of visiting a counselor or a therapist. Most of the people, before even I get into the second question, most of the people today in a relationship, in a marriage, the moment they hear anything to do with therapist, counselor, they always presume and assume that things are they're on the worst case. It doesn't mean that there is something wrong. They say people suffer for. Then even the Bible records that my people perish for lack of knowledge.
True.
There are some things you cannot be at the monopoly of information. There are some things you need someone who will be able to walk a journey with you, who will be able to help you correct something. Remember, if you are not doing a favor to that person, it's for your own good.
Yeah.
Because a relationship is only, and marriage is only worth it if it is working in your favor. So, and how can you make a good relationship and a good marriage? Does not just work. You just have to be intentional, go an extra mile, research on a few things. Supposing, let's say, my lady might be suspecting of infidelity. The problem might not be her. The problem might be me. You understand?
Yeah.
So I just have to be real. And visiting a therapist is a sign of real with the person in the mirror. And validated myself, accept your current situation, so that you can be able to move on to the next stage. On that aspect that you were saying about the Kenyan men and the Kenyan, and men in general, men to some extent will have, I don't know, but let me just say we have this thing that has entered us, and I call it the toxic masculinity, right?
Yeah.
Whereby we feel as if my boys, if the society will see me accepting and going for some therapy session, I'll be seen as a woman. I'll be viewed
as a weakness. It's some sort of weakness they think.
Exactly, that's the word. So it doesn't. Remember, those people will be pushing you out there, but the problem will be in like this is the person you're going to spend the rest of your life with. It's
Sure.
good to get advice from other people. It's always good. Marry this person considering your parents. Marry this person considering your friends, but not your friends. Why am I saying so? Yes, you can.
But not your.
But not for them. Consider them, but not for them. Remember, this is the person you are going to.
What do you mean?
I mean that I mean, for example, I've identified a lady, and I want to marry this lady, but my family is like, you know what? We cannot marry from this community. I think you've gone like like this country. Those are some of the things we have. Like, you know what? You cannot marry from this community. We stereotype them.
Yeah.
So also you can consider, and listen unto them to some extent. But remember, you are not marrying this person, or you are not dating with this person for the sake of them. It's for your own sake. It's for your own peace. So ensure you build your house and put your house in order for your own good. So the moment I'm going to speak these sessions, the moment I'm going to speak to the therapist, it's not for them. It's not about those people. It's about me. It's about me as an individual. It's about us in this relationship. Remember, it is us, the two of us, against the world. It is not us divided against the world. So we have to be conjoined. I have to be conjoined with my.
And actually, just even to touch on the point when most of them are being afraid because they're thinking it's a weakness. I mean, that's the point where now you need to trust each other as a couple and say, nobody needs to know about it. Because how are your friends going to know that you're actually going for therapy? How are your friends going to know? I mean, they're not following you around or tracking you on your phone to check that you've actually gone to see a therapist or something of the sort. Because if you know it's valuable even for the relationship, then by you just taking the step with your partner, it's part of just showing them like, hey, I love you and I want to go to take this journey with you, along with you, because I feel it's valuable and that it can be of help to both or the married couple and everything. So there is another factor and a question that came along whereby you have and I would have a point on both sides on what I think about that. You have a point when now the opposite think like, hey, this thing they allow each other to try bringing in other partners or going for other partners or something of the sort. But the danger with this is if it's not in the context of like, infidelity can never be acceptable or like valuable if, like, let's say, especially if maybe it's not like in somebody's mind when maybe a couple, one of the partners decides to propose that. But in the scenario where I have seen some couples do that, they end up breaking because one ends up being feeling left out, literally. And this other partner, for example, who ended up wanting to have to try multiple partners or something of so, because we know we are in a generation where like people are trying out so many things and everything. And so personally, I don't judge and everything. And I listen to somebody if like they say that this is their choice and everything. But for me, I would say is, what is your position? What do you want? Like, if a partner proposes this, and like, is it in a protective perspective where you are both involved or something of a sort? And I don't know what viewers think about the subject, but let me hear your thoughts on this, because it's a factor that came about.
Wow, wow. Personally, what you did is so important. Like, it's about my personal stand. It's about my take. It's about am I happy? Is my partner happy about this? If yes, now, no matter what people will say, okay, is my partner comfortable with this? No. Now, what can we really do for us to continue being together? What can we really do? Because a relationship and this marriage should not be a burden to anyone, any of us. It is for us to enjoy life to the fullest, is for us to do life in the best way we know, and all those kind of things put in place. So it is about the two of us, our friends, that we can be able to discuss everything and anything
openly,
so that we can openly without you judging my vulnerability.
exactly.
And the way you're just saying, mostly men feel they cannot open up to that discussion because if they feel you are not their safe hub, whereby I can be able to open up and you won't judge me, you won't use this against me, and that's when now they feel like, okay, now we tag along, we go along, and this can only happen if that culture is created in a good way, the foundation of this relationship.
So maybe we should maybe call on our viewers to maybe even comment or let us know if any are still with us and are watching and everything, that if for example, like, you are in the relationship and the other partner proposes such a thing, probably one factor to consider is, would you be open-minded to meet your partner like in the middle to understand how best you can carry out the process, or just meet the person. And if you feel that you're not comfortable with such probably a decision or something of the sort, then propose to almost play out different roles, as Alan said at the beginning. A pastor says, if you want a nurse, dress up as one. Let your partner try and like bring in the adventure. I say, um if you bring in the adventure into the couple, into the marriage perspective, I believe this is part of what now adds up the spice. Are you able to buy objects that can help, just improve the whole thing? So let us know if you have any questions, if you're listening to us still, and give us your thoughts on the subject. Let us hear your questions and just know what you think about the conversation, and if you're enjoying the conversation. We're not just here for us, it's not for just us to exchange. We really hope that you are enjoying everything.
Like in the counseling sessions, we always told that if you speak for long and people are not responding, it's either you're boring or they are not understanding. They're not with you.
But so, probably we are having a young audience. But Victor, are you still with us? Maybe you can tell us your thoughts on the subject. But probably we are also having viewers who they have the perfect marriage, everything is running smooth. I don't know whether it exists. But maybe there are people who do not have like the valleys, and that it.
And like let me also put you on the spot.
Okay.
And God forbid, like today you find the Mr. Right doing something. Like let's say you get him red-handed. You as an individual, now, what will you do?
I get him. I if I catch him red-handed with another woman.
And God forbid.
Okay. I have always told him the same, that I think unfortunately I have too much pride, and since at that point it'll feel crushed. It will feel crushed. I know as a Christian I need to forgive, but you see, now forgetting is difficult. And the point where now I would say, how do I do it? I don't know. You've really put me on the spot there, man. But I think my pride unfortunately overrides the kind of decision I would make, because I'm the type who would like walk away somehow. Because at that point in time, I'll be telling myself, I have not been able to satisfy you. I am not good enough at that point for you. I have not been listening. I did not open my ears, or my discernment was not in place to see it coming, because we have this sort of thing inside us that we can always feel something is coming, or that it could happen or something of a sort. You almost feel the change somehow in the relationship if it happens and everything. But the funny thing is, when he is asked the same question, he always says he would forgive. And so I was like, but when you give someone permission, they don't feel like doing anything.
Yeah.
When it is forbidden, it's almost as if that's the moment you want it.
Wow.
But you see, so I always say, if it happens, I would really be happy to know from you, from the horse's mouth, because by probably him letting me know, it is a very high sense of respect, a very high sense of responsibility for him to be able to reach out to me and tell me, like, hey, I have decided to go out and look at somebody else, and that this happened. I think it's a great sense of maturity that I would love to be told by him directly, not to find out from other people. Then I would definitely, like, will remain like really good friends. I don't know why I stay friends with all my exes, by the way. Like, I don't live with anger.
Next week topic we discuss about
Exes.
contact with exes. So, like, and do you think a relationship can survive after you get your partner cheating? Can a relationship survive?
I think it's very difficult. I think it's very difficult because there's that aspect of almost somebody living on their toes, and it's terrible. That feeling of almost thinking like you have to walk on everything you do, you're like, like you did last time, just like you did the last. Couples rarely forgive at that point in time. They always, especially ladies, go away. But why is it that the men are the ones who always have to go out and get the other women?
Yeah, I understand.
And our other subject will actually, next week, if we are talking about the exes and the relationship and everything, then the other Friday we are definitely going to talk about the epical age where the success has come, and why do you have to go elsewhere and find somebody younger. Anyway, that's a subject now for the other Friday and everything. But as of today, as we were just talking about infidelity, when you put me on the spot asking me if I would how do I react, I'm the type who would pack and go, like, because I feel like I cannot maybe satisfy or fully give what they're looking for. And so I find it would be really hard to erase that moment from the head, to get it out, because it is in a way hurtful, I would say. But if it can be explained as to why it happened, as to why it came about also, and the partner understanding that probably it's because of this fault, and that's why discussion is very important, and why the maturity is like necessary at this point in time. If you get to talk about it and find out, then I don't know, somehow maybe they can actually overcome the whole thing. What would you do as a man, for example? You found your woman cheating on you. No way, never. You're not allowed.
Yeah, like what happened, I believe it won't be her first time in court. it means I will personally, as Alan, I look at it from this point. I saw the red flags and I ignored. So it's a failure on me. Maybe I haven't been giving her attention. I've been so much involved in work, maybe. I've been so much involved in other things. That's when she went. And that's, it's a risky position to be in, because if I might forgive, it will be like I'm teaching her and training her that she should continue to cheat. So I need to put some demarcation in this relationship that these are the deal breakers in this relationship, and I will ensure that I will exercise personal integrity. I will be so much disciplined, not for the sake of you, but for the sake of me as an individual, that I've promised myself and sworn to myself that I won't cheat. Not because the conditions are favorable, not because that not because somebody is watching on me, but because it is me, my own personal integrity. Because this person cannot put that on me, it's just my own way of exercising my personal integrity.
Yeah, very true. But Daniel on the YouTube side is telling me that if he found his woman cheating, he would it will be finished, no doubt. But but I believe that you asked one thing, because most Alan, I agree with you. Aniket agrees with you on that fact that you wouldn't cheat and everything. But now we are in the process and talking about the scenario when you have actually found your partner cheating. And I like the point where you talked about taking responsibility on what you didn't do yourself. But you have couples now who surpass this stage. But in most scenarios, you have lots of cases where now it's like the woman has to forgive every single time. And I have seen it a lot, for example, in many couples all over, where the woman is the one who will be like, okay, fine, I forgive this time, and it's the last time. If ever happens again, then I need to go away. But then now it happens again. It's just like even the violence, like when it happens, they always say the first time, my husband was raised by the father always told him, if you ever get angry and have to ever lay a hand on your woman, it's time for you to get out of the door and really walk away and go breathe, go think about your action before you can take it to hit a person or something of a sort. But now cheating, I believe, comes in because there's some sort of unsatisfaction. Like there's not enough sex, because maybe one is just too much of a nympho man or nympho lady, because we have both scenarios and all that. But the reason why they are not able to go beyond this, it's because the whole point, they will always be reminded, but you cheated on me, but you cheated on me. And so the relationship going forward from that point in time is very difficult. Alan, give us your concentration, please. Now, Aniket says, nowadays we don't give freedom to partners. You want a partner to be given freedom to go out. I think we sometimes try to understand a partner's needs.
You see, like the way we were saying, the moment you forgive some level of cheating, you are teaching this person on how they will finish you. You are teaching them on how they will just completely finish your heart. On Sunday, my pastor was saying that today many people have been broken till to a point when they want to argue, they hide their heart at the back so that you no longer bruise them. So basically what needs to be done is at that particular point, as much as, let's say, you've gotten this person, can you have closure and be able to understand why they did this? The way you are just saying, At least you be told that, you know what, yeah, you messed, and I didn't have an option. I tried to get an audience with you. You could not give me that.
Excuse me, I'm just putting on my lighting.
Okay, no worries.
Go ahead.
Guys, so as a woman, do not compromise, and do not, like the way Aniket was saying, do not, as much as you cannot be there to police your person. You won't be there to That's why we are saying you cannot be there always to police this person, but ensure that you make them secure enough, you make them trust them. Because the moment I'll begin to suspect you that you are cheating on me, if I'm also cheating, I'll to some extent, 98% of the most people who forgive cheating, you look at it cleanly, they're also cheating. So that
you know, when I had the restaurant, unfortunately, I should not maybe speak so much about it and everything, but there are times when you would say, as you just said, when a woman will forgive the man and saying, oh, it's okay, I forgive you this time, but don't repeat it again, or something of a sort, because she knows she's actually doing it on the other side. Like, but then now, my question.
When a woman decides to cheat, even the devil himself will be taking note and pleading the blood of Jesus Christ.
But then now, what's the point of then going on with a relationship? Because is it because then we hold on to something that we already have and say we do not want to let go? Or then why does the cheating then have to go on?
Like, let me give you a typical scenario, because I had some discussion with someone in that session last week, and they were like, I'm just in this relationship because of the benefit that comes with being in this relationship. But my real man is on the other side. I was like, yeah, okay. Why? So I asked them, don't you think that you are just practicing like you're practicing prostitution in the private sector and the rest of the people in the public sector? Just like, no, it's always about sponsorship. This person is just sponsoring me, but I'm not emotionally with them. I was like, I really tried to understand why they were doing so. Even it was now on a different level, whereby the boyfriend now, the real boyfriend who they are looking at for marriage, is involved in this picture, whereby he has allowed the lady to cheat so that they can bring some money for them to sustain them. I was like,
what? But no, that's pure prostitution, literally, of your partner. How do you end up loving a partner that you tell that she has to go sleep around to bring home the money? That's not right. That's being like is it a pimp? We call them pimps or something?
Yeah, pimp in the private sector. Then the rest are in the public domain.
Wow.
So I think you listen to people's stories out here as a counselor, but you don't. Sometimes if you're judgmental, you won't even do it. But the thing is, just in the first place, if you do not mean well about this person, do not use somebody's emotions and somebody's heart as a hobby, or as a just find a hobby to do all those things that you want to do. If you cannot be half committed into a relationship, you cannot love half. It's either you are giving it all or you're not giving it all. That is why you need to be careful.
Okay.
It's either you are in a serious relationship or you are the one taking this relationship serious. So you need to put the demarcation.
Okay, somebody just sent something here that says, what if the sex is just not changing? Like, it's almost as if asking for permission. Like, is it allowed at that point then to go out for it?
No, because if in the first place I love you and you are my significant other, I need to be open with you and tell you that without breathing you, without telling you some things that really hurt you, I feel like the boy can really try this kind of thing, like this style, we try and experiment, and this can only happen at that level of being open and understanding your partner. Maybe this person is also wanting like you to initiate that kind of conversation. They are not even comfortable about it. And Ankit is saying love is not about sex. Yes,
true,
sex
very
is not
true.
love and love is not sex. Yeah, sex is not love and love is not sex. And if you think sex is love, why do we have people in the streets?
Yeah.
Then those people in the streets, they will be so much in a relationship. So love hands down them goes to sex, which is true. So back to the point we were saying, whereby maybe this person wants you to initiate the conversation. And you realize from this point whereby women feel they're never safe to ask for the change of style, but if they're not well satisfied, they feel like, oh my goodness, how can I say about this? No, you have to open up and speak, because if you're not comfortable with it.
And I think I would actually advise most women, this is subject that is not discussed widely, unfortunately, because you'll find there's a lot of unsatisfaction sexually, and the women will only wait for a safe space among other women to talk about it and say, hey, I am so hungry sexually, or I am not getting satisfied, or this and this is happening, and I don't know what to do. And I have found, like, when you get women who are mature enough and they can advise each other accordingly and find ways to literally learn how to even bring the man to satisfying them fully, is by, for example, like going for like sexual satisfaction class. We have sexologists who do this. In Kenya, you have Maurice Matheka. I don't know if you know him.
Yes, I've done articles with him.
Really? I have had sessions with Maurice Matheka, and I would say I literally think that women should actually be able to discover him. I hope next time we can try and have him on our channel, because he really advises women to learn their body, to learn how to talk to their partners, and enabling your partner to understand your body is part of just your daily joy. Learning that you can be, and you are meant to be satisfied all the way, and then you are able to talk to your partner, to guide your partner. And if you're not able to even guide them, that you can take the sessions together with your partner to just bring in this satisfaction. But Aniket says unsatisfaction is a huge problem of 21st century. We have forgotten how to be satisfied. So true. So true. I have one of my best friend who asked me one question, and I wondered. I literally had to look back. Is it that I want too much out of life, or then am I not being grateful for what I have? And it's a question that we can all almost ask ourselves. Aniket, thank you so much for that point. It is true that there's a lot of unsatisfaction, but isn't it also because we know we can have better? Alan, give us your point, Alan.
Yeah. Yes, people, we have this perception and we have this image that, what, I know I can get enough. And also, this challenge has been sponsored by, I think, whereby people are watching these things online.
Yes.
Whereby people are watching these things online, and people, without them realizing one thing, that these things, they are edited. The moment people get into this act, they edit and on the style. But you get to the real act, you want your partner to perform the same way you talk, without you noticing that this thing, it was acted, and they took time to edit, and so you have expectation on your person, you have expectation on how this person will be, and expectations is the mother of frustrations, because this person cannot meet your set standard, and this set standard, the saddest thing, you've not communicated that to them, you've not had a discussion over them. So some people will get some kind of information that come to ruin our relationship, that come to ruin our marriages. So people need to reach to that level of, yes, I am expecting this, but what are some of the things that I need to compromise? You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah. Just a moment on a point. Daniel on the YouTube side says, impossible. Ladies always want more, but what more do they want? I don't believe it's really just a ladies thing, always wanting more. Maybe we are being selfish, and I really pray to God for forgiveness. Like if in my area it has happened from my side, but I don't believe that we always do want more. Perhaps then maybe we should ask for forgiveness. I don't know. And you have shared something that
I have shared my link of them
for the subscription.
Yeah.
Aniket says, today I love a person which makes me feel the best person. She always wants to see me happy. That's wonderful. That's wonderful when you can have somebody who makes you feel good. We have forgotten how to be satisfied. Yeah. Hi, Jacob. Welcome on board. I don't think ladies want more. Some goes to male. Yeah, even the male partners. The reason why they are always looking for more, it's the reason why most of them go outside, because there's nothing like hurtful as always saying, like, let's say, like I saw on online where was it on YouTube, a lady goes like, hey, I wanted to raise my partner's attention because I'm sick and tired of him always looking at other women when we are in the gym or something of the sort. And I thought to myself, if you have to keep looking for his attention, you will forever have to give too much for him to give you that attention. Then probably he's just not probably the right person or something of the sort. We need to respect women a lot. Yeah, that's very true. That's very true. But anyway, I think the advice then would be to just try and make sure. I don't know. I'm not fond of this subject, but somebody wanted me to talk about it. And it's very private. But the reason why they asked me to talk about it is because it's a platform for exchanging and to being open and natural about it. Whereby now a masturbation is being introduced, and why should partners be okay with both subjects? Please share on that, because I'm not comfortable on my side to talk about it. Please, Alan.
Well, is a topic on its own whereby.
Oh my goodness! Just a moment before we jump onto that. Daniel says they want to be worshipped. All this licking and lapping, not a few minutes, hours. Oh my goodness. Okay. So maybe ladies, we are being blamed so much. I wish we had ladies on the panel who could talk about their feel on this. Daniel, that's sad to hear that.
You see, for me, what I understand.
Yeah.
Although it's a topic for another day, but what makes only I understand. A woman need, like, let me use worship in this way. If I'm supposed to make love my lady today evening, I need to start like about 12 hours to prepare. I cannot just, for us men, I can just find, okay, jump on this person and that be okay with it. But ladies want to a point whereby you need to prepare. You need to, like, organize it, because you cannot be abusing it in the morning, then expect next time. It cannot work that way. Yeah. You just have to reach to that level of you understand. You just need to reach to that level of you understood the dynamics of this person, who to this person, you can on, and do all those kind of things, because there is what we call this thing, the foreplay, then there is now the real penetration. So if she's not enjoying the foreplay, she won't, believe me, she won't enter the foreplay. You'll just be there.
Yeah, so, true.
So the leaking and whatever that guy was saying, the thing is, so that not Daniel, the president,
Daniel.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So you just need to be committed for it because we are together in this. Do not just go check on your side that you know what I'm satisfied and you do not care about the needs of the other person. That's not that thing. But in relationship with whereby you be real with yourself and you ensure that the other person is also comfortable with doing.
And just maybe
the issue.
And just maybe to answer also Daniel on his point on that part, I believe at the beginning when you meet your partner, you actually know when if they are nympho or not, if maybe they want a lot of sex and or not. So if you yourself you feel like probably it's too much, that maybe those beginning moments you better say like you cannot keep up, and then you realize probably it's not the right person for you, because probably the ladies have been through the point where they have been with a partner who is capable to keep up with their speed or something of the sort. So I don't think it's really high demands, and if it's probably too much and it's a problem, then perhaps change is required or to talk about it, because then maybe the partner may end up feeling offended in a way. And this is where I suggested that if you love each other so much and you're willing to compromise each other's desires and wants, perhaps introducing like toys in the game or in the process to make it like that if you can't do it, Daniel, that you use something else to maybe just enable her to get satisfied. Ask her, like, maybe like, what more do you need? That probably you're also tired, you're not keeping up probably with the speed. I don't know your thoughts, Daniel, if you're still watching and listening. Perhaps you could answer back and say if you have discussed it, and if it has been a long-term relationship, for example, if have you managed to talk things out. But perhaps maybe that is what needs to happen, and find another way in how she can get satisfied. And I don't think that women are looking to be worshipped, really. Yeah? If you have a partner where you communicate well, I don't really think it's a matter of the other one dominating the other one so much. I mean, it has to be a mutual understanding, so that one is not feeling suppressed and oppressed in a way. Daniel, I really would like to hear your point and thought on that advice. Okay, the issue is more about going on to an extreme length. This is a challenge. Alan, you're the coach here. Please answer Daniel. The issue is more about going on to an extreme length. To what extent, Daniel? Probably, if you could just give a last point, please. Like, is it the length of the time, the duration of the sex period that you're talking about, or is it the demands that come along with it? Please, Daniel. Excuse me. Alan, perhaps you can get everything done in 1 hour. It depends. Yeah. It's just on your strength, I believe, because there are some women who will need it to last for like 6 or 7 hours, because the person is capable of being in the game that long. They just want it for hours. Okay. Well, then it means probably you're the one who is not maybe able to keep up. And if it's tiring, then probably you're not into the person. But because the people who are actually capable of connecting and being together for hours like this, it's simply because they have been doing it in the past for long, and that they are capable of. That's just for her ego. Oh no, I don't really think it can be for the person's ego, really, because if you connected, then it means you're not no longer in connection with the person. And then it's just probably not the person meant for you. And if you're feeling suppressed so much like this, that it is more for her ego that she wants this, then probably it's the best solution then it's to maybe opt out, even though I never like to advise anyone to leave the other unless a solution has, been sought out and really found. I suggest, Daniel, that you just sit down with her and talk with her, because I don't really believe that the sexual act can be an action of ego, of wanting to satisfy her ego, because if it's not mutual, then it's not meant to be. It's not meant to continue. Let me know if the point is okay. She gets life from knowing man is worshiping her body for hours on end. Then that's a toxic relationship, I'm sorry to say, because when you're in a toxic relationship and you do not realize it, and that it is making you feel like you're being suppressed like this, that you have to do too much to make the other person appreciate you, then it is more toxic, I would say, in my opinion. And the best solution would be to try and maybe opt out, because you're not supposed to be worshiping any other person. You're not supposed to be worshiping any other human. It's ungodly. I mean, for me, who is a Christian, I wouldn't want somebody to start saying that they need to worship me for me to feel like I'm existing or anything. It's not good at all. So perhaps maybe it's an opportunity for you to try and sort out and opt out, because then you're forever giving, 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 and not being able to satisfy. I hope that you are okay with that advice, and that probably things are going to get better, because then it means you're not in your position of completion. If you're not feeling complete and in your place, then perhaps it's just a better decision to try and opt out, I believe. I do not know what you think. Anycat, and for all those who are on Instagram, as my phone is going to go off, I will invite you to go to the YouTube side if you have any questions, because then I'm going to continue the live from the YouTube side in case any more people would like to ask questions or anything of the sort. So Anycat, join us on the YouTube side to ask your questions from there. Otherwise, on the Instagram part, I will say goodbye and thank you for being with us. Okay, thank you. So, Daniel, do you think it's possible that you're not in the best relationship? How long have you been in this relationship, Daniel, if you can tell me? Daniel, if you're still there, let me know how long you have been in this relationship, please. Are you there, Daniel? Okay. Perhaps the audience is still not open and everything, but my advice, I would say, is that if you tried to get seek help together as partners, I think it would be amazing, because then you're able to talk things out. Wow, 3 years. Not to say that it's a bad sign, but well, in France they like to say all the time that love lasts 3 years. Well, but there are people who last longer, because then they're meant to be. So honestly, Daniel, if you're feeling like it's tiring, it's not okay, it's not healthy, it's not rich anymore, that you're not getting your value back, do you feel like she values you in all that you deliver, in all that you give? do you feel satisfied by the rest of the things, like talking, you can communicate in a healthy way, or does it all have to come to the sex in the long run? Perhaps you could just tell me this question. Daniel, if you're still there, I would really like to hear. And if you're just joining in, okay, it's not a problem. She's satisfied in an hour. She just wants to keep going again. Yeah, this is a tough one. Um, so, have you talked to her to tell her that maybe you're tired of the act? Like you need to stop, and you would like, you know, you can talk more. And then my suggestion, because then it's a long-term relationship, my suggestion would be to try and take moments of activities and make them last in a way that you need to find ways to make her tired, almost like children at times when you do so many activities, like go out for visiting a different new place or something of the sort. Suggest to go to the gym together. Suggest to do like more activities that can also increase the body energy, that enables, just her body to also get the satisfaction, because sometimes it's just letting out a lot of the energy that probably she's holding so much, and that she needs to get that adrenaline. So perhaps trying out sports, and cardio, good sports, in such a way that it's going to really pump her up, and this will keep her like, hyperactive in a way, and it's giving her another satisfaction and keeping her healthy. Her body, her heart is pumping perfectly, in such a way that by the time you're having the sexual act, one or two rounds should, kind of satisfy her in a way. I hope that you can you can try this out, and let me know. Like, sorry, I was just registering for the video from the Instagram. So, Daniel, maybe you can try out the sports. Do you ever do sports together as a couple? Because this is the only way, I literally believe. You go try the zip line, or if it's possible, you can even try, I don't know, ask her what would raise her adrenaline in such a way that it's going to be high, so that by the time she's doing all this, she can be able to get almost satisfied in a way. So perhaps you could just try, even, like, I don't know, she can jump from the airplane. Uh, okay, thanks. Might take her to the gym. I believe that can work, because you can be able to literally just raise her adrenaline. And if the gym is not going to work, try it at least for a month. Or they say you need 21 days of practicing something for it to get to become a habit. And if you can do it up to the 60 days, then it is installed, and you can actually be able to just naturally do it on a daily basis. And I honestly believe that if you can do this, but perhaps also talk a little bit more, because if you want to keep this relationship and you want it to be maintained, because later on you need to also ask yourself, Daniel, what if you meet another woman after, or another partner, if it's a gay relationship or whatever. But if let's say your partner, you decide like, oh, I can't take this anymore, it's too much for me, so you decide to go and meet another partner, and the other partner is a person who doesn't love sex, for example, are you going to be regretting and telling yourself like, damn it, I wish I had I try to change something in the past relationship, because we are always told you miss something only when you don't have it anymore. So, Daniel, you need to think about the perspective of like, what if tomorrow the relationship is over, you no longer have her, yet probably everything else was okay. So, probably there's just that 10% of it's too much sex for you. Because imagine most men would be like dying to be in your position, because you'll find a scenario where you should ask yourself, like, now if I go in this other next relationship and this woman is never available, she's always having a headache, or she's always like complaining, or she's always like thinking that I need this or I need that. Thank you so much, Aniket, for coming in. Thanks for the love, um, and for coming. Don't hesitate to give us the questions. Bonsoir, papa. Merci d'être là. Belle vidéo. Merci. Et je t'envoie des bisous. Désolée, c'est tout en anglais. Sorry, just saying hi to one of my viewers who is in French. So, Daniel, what you need to really ask yourself is, if you go now with another partner who doesn't love sex, you'll have women who are very difficult, for example, and they just are not passionate about bedside. They're not passionate about things to do with sex, and so they are more satisfied maybe with the talking, with doing activities together, doing all these other things. So what you need to ask yourself, Daniel, is, if now it got finished with this partner that you're having who loves sex so much, and if you had to go with another person, how would you feel? How would you be more satisfied? Will it feel like it's more complete for you? So these are questions that you actually try and put yourself on a paper, and once you have measured the advantages and the disadvantages, you are able to position yourself on how much you can compromise. Oh, wow, you've had this with every girl you've dated? Wow, this is strange. And what is the common factor here? It is you. Have you asked yourself? Probably you just don't enjoy sex, probably, as a person. Because the problem could be that it's coming now from there, that you probably aren't enjoying the act itself. Bonsoir, papa. Merci beaucoup d'avoir été live ici. Et je te souhaite une bonne soirée. Je te fais des bisous. À toi et Micheline. With every girl I've dated. I think, Daniel, then you probably need to just find an external person extra now to talk about it further, because you probably, in your head, you could be thinking that all women are like this, that all women are unsatiable, that all women want to be worshipped. So probably it is in your head. I'm not going to ask a private question of like how many women there have been, but there's a point where you will find, Daniel, you need to take inspiration from my princess. Okay, thank you, Aniket. But Daniel, I honestly believe that one of the factors that you could ask yourself is, every time, there's like a joke Joel Austin likes to say, this man goes and he's afraid of flying, so he asks a god, like, God, can you make a bridge towards Hawaii so that I can just walk over, because I'm afraid of flying? And then God says, like, well, that's a little bit too much now. Can you ask for something else, probably? Merci, papa. Bisous aussi. And then God tells him, like, oh, well, it's a bit too much. I'm not going to make a bridge to go to Hawaii from the States where you are. Probably try and ask for something else. What else can I do for you? And this man goes like, okay, fine, God, if you cannot make the bridge to go to Hawaii, then please tell me how to understand a woman. I have been married like 5 times and I still do not understand how women function, or how women think, or how women act, and why do they think what they think and everything. And so God was like, well, so you need, in the long run, he was like, have you stopped to think that it could be coming also from you? Like, have you thought about it, that it could be coming from you or not? And he's like, well, I have done therapy, I have done everything that I needed to do. But so God was like, okay, fine, how many lanes do you need? 1, 2, 3, 4 of the bridges to make for him. So it was just a joke, but just to say that, understanding a woman, it only takes a man to be able to also understand, and it's communication that enables the two of you to understand each other. I think that's the only way I can put it, because I believe sometimes we are complicated. We are maybe not giving a chance for somebody to be able to understand us better, or get to really know deeply what is going on within us, or something of a sort. So it's very individual as a perspective and way, I would say, of facing this matter. But I honestly think you should try out the sports. It would help. Everyone is different. It's very true. Papa, je vais préparer une vidéo en français. Je vais commencer une chaîne française plus tard, ok? Comme ça, je partagerai toutes les informations une autre fois. So sorry for that. My fake dad, he is my adopted father in France. He says that I should make videos in French, and so I'm thinking about having a French channel. Bientôt, Papa, okay? Anyway, so yeah, women are different, as Aniket says. And so Daniel, I really hope that this has been helpful, that you can join us perhaps next Friday as we discuss more, unless anybody has an extra point that they would like to talk about. But I believe that it has been good and long enough that we should probably end soon. Daniel, do you feel satisfied and you would be willing to try out and then maybe talk to us next Friday on how the week is going to go with the idea of the gym? Maybe I would be really happy if you could bring back feedback and everything. Oui, papa, elle va bien, merci. So Daniel, are you still there? Will you be willing to give me feedback next Friday if you join us, that you could probably tell us how everything went? Kindly. So no answer yet. So I would like to say thank you so much for having been present, having listened. Do share out the video so that perhaps it can help somebody else. Let the couples, yeah, I'll give it a try and let you know. I would really, really be happy and honored. And I'm grateful that you are on board today with us. And thank you so much also for being vulnerable and answering all the questions. I deeply appreciate. And I hope that things are going to get better sometime next week. Next week on Friday, same time, we connect normally at 7, unless my guest would like to get connected earlier. And then it's the only moment I will change time, but it's going to be 7 p.m. always on Fridays. Okay? I love to watch your videos on French with English subtitles. Okay, that would be great. Aniket, thank you very much. Daniel, you need to be satisfied. Aniket, we can't judge because Daniel has been vulnerable enough, and I appreciate it. And I really hope that, things are going to get better. And I'm sending you lots of energy on your side because you need it. Eat well. It will help. And with the sports together and talking, it will make things feel better. But perhaps maybe see somebody. If you would like to get connected, then talk more, perhaps only once you have tried next Friday after we see how things have gone through the week. And then we can probably take up a private session the week after to discuss further. Perhaps it could unblock something and get to discuss a little bit more on a private coaching level. Okay? Love you, and it's my pleasure to listen to you every single time. Thank you so much. I am very honored. I am very glad that you are all able to stay present and very active. And especially Daniel, I really, really am humbled by your vulnerability. And I'm hoping and trusting that things are going to be much, much better for you. Hi, Nicole. So thank you. Thank you for checking in. You're coming in a little bit late. The discussion was a little bit hot, 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 and I hope that you can watch the replay to listen through. I am very sorry my guest was not able to get connected, so we could not see. And I really hope that you are able to all be able to hear him as he gave very vital and important advice as we talked about infidelity. Can you forgive? How can you go beyond it? Are you discussing? Are you communicating? How can women talk more about them not being satisfied? Can you seek help on therapy and try and find a way to just get to grow together and to get satisfied to, together? Toujours agréable de pouvoir t'écouter et surtout de pouvoir parler en français, c'est super vite. Vite, j'attends les vidéos géniales. Gros bisous, filles voisines. Merci, ma chérie. Merci beaucoup, toi et papa. Je vais juste commencer cette chaîne français exprès pour vous parce que vous êtes adorables, vous êtes des amours et je vous remercie profondément. So thank you. Nicole, I will definitely watch the replay. I am sure it was a beautiful discussion. It was awesome and really some people got to be vulnerable, especially Daniel, that I've been thinking all this while. And he believes that all women are sexable and that we want to be worshipped. And so wanting hours and hours of sex and everything. So today was really about infidelity and love and relation in the love and relationship. Oh my goodness, I did not know you spoke French. I need the lessons. It will be a pleasure, dear. It will definitely be a pleasure. So I really hope that you can all get to play the replay on behind to listen to the rest of the information, share out with others and especially other ladies, and find ways to get to talk about this matter so that we can all get satisfied. I feel proud of you, my princess. Okay, thank you. Thank you for calling me your princess, but I appreciate your presence, Aniket, and be blessed. For to everybody, have an amazing, amazing weekend. Thank you so much for watching, for being here. I do not take it for granted. I deeply appreciate. Do write in the comments some of the things that you have been able to put in practice and that you would like us to talk about the next Friday as we talk about love and relationship and everything. It is only by you referring back points and questions that we are able to continue giving value, that we are able to continue staying present and to make sure that we make the best content possible that is going to benefit you in some way. So I hope you're all going to get and seek satisfaction because we all need it. And for Daniel, I'm really wishing you the best and that things are going to be able to change on your side. Thank you very much and wishing you a lovely evening. Merci beaucoup, papa. Merci d'avoir été là. Merci, Nadia. Ça fait tellement plaisir de me regarder, même si vous ne comprenez pas. Et ça me touche tellement profondément. Je vous aime tellement fort. Et je vous fais des gros bisous. Bye bye. Thank you so much for watching and bye bye. Oh, remember to leave, love, and learn.